Well, I guess Michigan felt like losing today. Their defense really showed it. Jumped off sides 6 or 7 times in the first half alone. I just don't understand. Like, what the heck, Nathan? Here's Nathan. He's vibing.
Yeah,
What you doing?
playing.
All right, so let's dive into this game. So Michigan lost, pretty embarrassing. Their second straight loss. Michigan starts 1-2 for the first time since 2008. In that year, they went 3-9. Indiana beats Michigan for the first time since 1987. Indiana starts 3-0 in Big Ten play for the first time since 1988. Indiana looks like a pretty good team this year. They have Michigan State next week, which should be a win, but then they're going to get blown out by Ohio State. Michigan has Wisconsin next week, which I don't even know if that game's going to be played because Wisconsin's having COVID issues. I'm not mad about this game. I'm not sad. I'm just not surprised. Like, I had a feeling Michigan was going to play like crap this game, and they sure did. I mean, they went 3-and-out multiple times. Indiana scored on 2 free plays, and they were both on Michigan offside penalties. I don't understand. I've never seen that. I've never seen a team jump off sides. It's like 6 or 7 times in the same game. It's just all that Michael Penix is doing is he's just doing this. He's just clapping, and then they go. It's like how you don't listen to the clap. You just watch the ball. Once the ball moves, then you go. And apparently, I guess Michigan's defense didn't know how to do that. Aiden Hutchinson, one of Michigan's best players, left the game with an injury today. Quite a bit players got injured. Some Michigan, some Indiana. Indiana just played lights out football the whole time. They didn't commit a single turnover. Michigan went into this game with no turnovers on the season until Joe Milton decided to throw 2 interceptions. But let's get into the stats of this game. So for the passing wise, Michigan's leading passer was Joe Milton, who went 18 for 34 with 344 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Indiana's leading passer was Michael Penix Jr., who went 30 for 50 with 342 yards, 3 touchdowns. So, in summary, Michael Penix threw 2 yards less than Joe Milton. They both had 3 touchdowns, but Milton had 2 interceptions, while Penix had none. For rushing, Michigan sucked in the running game today. Every time they ran the ball, it just went nowhere. They couldn't get a single thing going with the rushing game. Michigan's leading rusher was Hassan Haskins, who had 6 carries for 19 yards. And Indiana's leading rusher was Stevie Scott III, who had 24 carries for 94 yards and 2 touchdowns. So, big difference in the rushing game. Indiana obviously did much better in the rushing game than Michigan, and that's one of the key things to the win for Indiana. For receiving, Michigan's leading receiver was Ronnie Bell, who had 6 receptions for 149 yards and a touchdown. Could have had 2, but Joe Milton had Ronnie Bell wide open deep, and he overthrew him. Feel like just giving me flashbacks of Shea Patterson overthrowing his receivers constantly. I just hope Joe Milton's not the same way. Indiana's leading receiver was Ty Freifogel, who had 7 receptions for 142 yards and a touchdown. So, in summary, Michigan was better in receiving, as a leading receiver had more yards and less catches. They both had touchdowns. Ronnie Bell could have had 2 touchdowns, like I said in the past. But this Michigan team is horrible. The offense is anything, not even, I don't even know if you could call them decent. I mean, they went 3-and-out so many times, and this defense is horrible. Like, this is the worst defense I've seen since 2010. I wasn't even a Michigan fan that year. I didn't even start watching them until 2011. I just feel bad for all the Michigan fans that have been watching for years, like have been around in that 97 season when they went undefeated, or even before then. And now just looking here now. And props to Indiana. You beat our butts. Indiana's a really good team this year. They beat Penn State back in the first game. Questionable call on the 2-point conversion. In my opinion, I don't think it was, because I feel like that Penix's arm hit the ground before the ball hit the pylon, but it is what it is. That game was 2 weeks ago, and then they beat Rutgers last week, and then they beat Michigan this week. And I know Indiana fans and players are really happy with that, because this is the first time Indiana has beaten Michigan since 1987. And I wasn't even... This is the first time Michigan has lost to Indiana in my lifetime. I've never seen Michigan lose to Indiana before, but today I saw it happen. And what's going to come for Michigan? Nothing. Are they going to make a bowl game? I don't even know at this point. I'm not sure how many wins Michigan has to have to make a bowl game because of the shortened season. I feel like 4, but Michigan's supposed to play Wisconsin at home next week, but it might get canceled because of Wisconsin has been having issues with COVID. Wisconsin has to be doing something wrong. I mean, there's been so many Wisconsin players that have tested positive. They're violating something. Something has to be going on over there. But if they do play next week, it's going to be a loss for Michigan. It's just the impending doom, just waiting for the Ohio State game. I don't even know if it's worth watching that game if you're a Michigan fan. Ohio State's going to have a field day against Michigan. Ohio State should go undefeated this season. They should be in the playoffs. Ohio State has an easy game against Rutgers tonight. And then Michigan State today. Oh my God, Michigan State. That just adds insult to injury. Iowa hasn't even won a game yet. They had a 24-20 loss against Purdue, and then they had a 23-21 loss against Northwestern. So they went into this game without a win, and then they win 49-7 against Michigan State. This adds insult to injury for Michigan, because Michigan State was a team that beat Michigan last week, and then they go and get absolutely destroyed by a winless team. Michigan's a horrible team this year. I don't even know how many wins they're gonna have. Teams they should beat this season, maybe should be Rutgers. Rutgers is usually a bad team, but I don't know about them. Penn State, maybe. Penn State is not a good team. Last time I checked, they were losing 7-0 to Maryland. In short, bad season for Michigan. Just a horrible season. All you trolls in the comment section, just go off on me. Just make fun of me. Say Michigan's awful. Especially you Ohio State fans. Just be a complete douchebag, because that's what you guys are anyway. We deserve it as Michigan fans for keep thinking every year we're going to be good and then they're not. Just make fun of me. Just laugh at me. I deserve it. At least I have the Steelers to be happy about. Their game's tomorrow. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not already. And I decided I'm going to be doing this for the Michigan games and the Steelers games. I'll have a post-game analysis after the Steelers game tomorrow. But thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you tomorrow after the Steelers game. Goodbye.